All righty, so let's go down to number 2. Silver Age characters are boring.
Damn it, I have to agree with him.
Okay, let's read it. DC science fiction heroes kicked off the Silver Age. Sci-fi was all the rage in the late 50s, early 60s. So comics borrowing this wasn't a shock. That said, sci-fi of the time often revolved around great writing, interesting characters, something comics didn't. Superhero comics were disposable. They weren't meant to be objects of veneration or life-changing narratives. The characters who populated these books were pretty boring. Heroes like Barry Allen, Hal Jordan were one-dimensional leads whose powers were more interesting than their personalities. The same could be said of many Marvel and DC heroes. Readers didn't demand well-written, multifaceted characters during the Silver Age. And for the most part, no one was giving that to them anyway. All right, go on, Vank.
Well, Barry Allen was so bad they had to kill him off. That's how boring he was.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
That's why. And then he came back and he screwed up everything. That's why there's multiple Flashes.
He did just turn this into an opportunity to smear Barry Allen.
Okay, Ash.
Look, this is, first of all, it's a stupid assertion. Like, it's pure subjectivity,
right?
To say Silver Age characters are boring. But if you're going to try to take this on an objective level, the entire MCU as we know it was built on the most popular portion of Marvel, which was entirely built in the Silver Age. And I don't care if you argue, but Captain America existed in the Golden Age. Yes. That's one character. Submariner, and also the original Human Torch, who has never gained any traction since, are 3 characters from the Golden Age. Captain America was the only one that transitioned to a star lead because it's Captain America. But the Silver Age, Fantastic Four, X-Men, Iron Man, the Avengers, Thor, Hulk, everything you know about Marvel and what transitioned to make the MCU, which is the most successful movie franchise of all time, much less the most successful superhero movie franchise of all time, is all built on those Silver Age characters that are apparently so boring. Like, but so glad now that we're in Phase 4, so we can get Kamala Khan and we can get what's her name, Ironheart, because those boring Silver Age characters can finally be shelved. That's just absolute nonsense.
Yeah, let's put away the white men, using it as a racial slur.
And I'm not saying you can't like
they've had it for 60 years. That's the whole point of the character changes.
Spider-Man, that terrible Silver Age boring character, Spider-Man.
Right. Well, I will point out that they are really this list should be why DC Comics sucked. Because every time they talk about whatever, this guy talks about whatever sucked, he's bringing up DC Comics. I will say this, and maybe this is to the point, really, what Venkman was trying to say. I'm trying to get you to sound smart here, dude. Everybody was good. There wasn't a lot of nuance to the characters. So you really did have everybody doing good deeds, and they were stand-up citizens and so forth. There was a true separation between good and evil in these books. So maybe that's what I'm trying to give a benefit of the doubt on this one. That maybe that's what the writer is trying to say. That
he's cherry picking. He's cherry picking.
Of course,
obvious.
Of course he is.
Barry Allen and Hal Jordan were not written that great in that era.
I disagree with Hal Jordan. I can say that Barry Allen.
Barry wasn't.
Up until but the thing is Barry Allen
written awful, but
Barry Allen problems. And along with a lot of characters, as the Silver Age grew older, as we were closing in on the on what would be known as the Bronze Age, every character got a boost. Every character started getting nuance. I have said this so many times before that there are no bad characters. There are only bad writers. I'm not saying that the writers that did these were bad. It's just that they began to understand that it's time to write real stories with these characters, thanks to Stan Lee. He's the one that changed them. He's the one that made it go okay. Now, granted, DC had a little bit longer to understand this than Marvel. Mort Weisinger thought that Marvel and Marvel Comics was a fad, that people eventually would go over to DC again. But eventually, even they became more sophisticated. So I'm sorry, dude, what survived were the characters that were the interesting ones. The Flash, the Green Lantern, bring in the JSA, bring in the Justice League. Wonder Woman got her Silver Age reissues. You got all the Aquaman through Showcase had a little trial, and he got his. I've said this before. I'll say it again. Aquaman has never had a bad run. Neither has Hawkman. Even at the height of the Silver Age, where you can say that DC Comics were simplistic, you still got Zatanna showing up in all sorts of books trying to find her father. And that's one of the best stories of the Silver Age. And it takes place in so many different comics. It's not like they went part 1, part 2. It's just whenever she showed up, that was part of the story that she was telling. So no, I disagree. While the characters were written simplistically, boring they were not. Boring they were not. That's it. Let me get some of these comments, and then we'll move on to number 1. If they think Silver Age characters are boring, it's obvious they didn't read any Silver Age books, and they aren't reading modern comics, or they would never say this. I think modern comics, now granted, as Ash has pointed out, there are some really good modern comics. There's some good Marvel and DC books out there, but they are being written, the bad ones are being written as one note as the bad Silver Age books. All right, let's see. Ethereal says, just talk to my dad. He doesn't know of the Golden Age DC heroes, and he read the Silver Age, says Ethereal. Rhaegar saying, if the so-called Golden Age, Silver Age, and Bronze Age comics were from the 1930s and 1980s, where are the Age of Comics now? Oddly enough, from 1990 until now, they call it the Modern Age. I think it's time to break that up. The Silver Age birthed all the most popular characters they are aping over. What modern character are they comparing it to, says Psycho Society? Exactly. I hear the Ms. Marvel actress will be writing the comic book, hiring on merit once again. Dude, I have heard her in interviews. She is legit geek.
Yeah.
So
she
hopefully, it doesn't mean she's a good writer, but it gives me hope. Like if you told me, who do you want writing a comic, T. Franklin or the chick who plays Ms. Marvel, I will pick the chick that plays Ms. Marvel any freaking day of the week. Do you know what Ms. Marvel?
I pick the fry guy at McDonald's over T. Franklin.
That is true. But do you know what she knows that Kevin Feige doesn't know? That the Marvel universe doesn't take place in the 616. Cartoon Comics is saying, no, the problem wasn't even the comic book code authority. It was the fact that they are making 100 books at the same time so they could sell 100,000 copies. These days, 5,000 maximum. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I disagree on MCU being the most successful IP movie franchise, box office wise, sure, but not so much quality wise. Yeah, when people say that, they mean the box office. Let's see. Original X-Men failed twice, and it was the third attempt. Aging the team up and diversifying them pushed them into popularity, says Psycho. Let's see. Need a translator for Twiddles. Would that not be nice? I agree with you, sir. I absolutely agree. Let's see. Number 1 had something to do with white men and Comicsgate. I don't get what you're saying there, dude. Chris Claremont pushed X-Men into popularity. Yep. I'd pick Kirk Franklin over T. Franklin. Okay. All righty. There you go. That's number 2. Let's move on to number 1.
No, I think
number 1.
I think he's trying to say that everybody who hates this guy, like this kind of person, probably blame Comicsgate, because Comicsgate for everything. It's which I don't understand the whole Comicsgate thing anymore, because they're kind of irrelevant now.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. In all honesty, I forget.
3 years ago, maybe different.
I forget about Ethan and his crowd until somebody brings him up. Yeah. Seriously. There you go, guys. What'd you think of this particular conversation and the subject? How do you feel about the writing of the Silver Age? Is it better? Is it worse than modern day? I think there's kind of a mix of the two. Yeah, I like the fact that we're tackling themes that were not allowed to be done back in the Silver Age. I think there's a sense of fun in the Silver Age that modern day comics have lost. Definitely you could see a decline throughout the years, as a matter of fact, to the point where now the message is a hell of a lot more important than the story itself. But that's just my opinion. What is yours? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to click like, share, subscribe, ring the notification bell if you haven't done it already, and share the video. Share, 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 share. And if you don't mind helping out the channel another way, go on over to Ko-Fi. I've actually opened up commissions again as well. And drop $1 in the till or get a commission. And I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that. And to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.